This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real.
What feels real? Like the court? The case?
I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer.
That's kind of insulting to Magnus McGilden.
I mean, he can afford to be insulted.
I guess so. Witness. State your name and occupation. Give me 1 second.
I'm going to use that 1 second to boost your volume a little.
I thought somebody was knocking.
There.
It was actually a wig cap that was slamming against the back of the wall. But either way. Yes, my name is John Garrideb. And I'm, well...
It was you, Oh, Shady was the one that was knocking on your door.
Oh, ookie spooky. It's no longer ookie spooky time. It's Christmas.
No!
It's
what happened to Thanksgiving?
Season. No, it's straight to holidays.
Christmas has completely consumed Thanksgiving. Halloween's next.
It's only a matter of time. No, it's actually going the opposite direction. So Valentine's Day is next.
Halloween's in there eventually. Christmas is
Eventually.
Christmas is the Disney of holidays. Completely commercialized and taking over everything.
Yikes. I'm a juror and such like.
It sounds like even she doesn't know if she's a housewife or maid or what anymore. This court has decided our testimony is required in order to clarify matters on this case. Do you understand, madam?
Oh, yes, my lord. You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. Oh, dearie me.
Chin up, Joni. Nothing to worry about now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't know you were here, John.
Was it only you in the room that day, old thing, was it? Well, I think I ought to testify as well, don't you?
Oh, that's... Oh, I'm actually kind of touched. But what about your knee, dear?
Don't you worry about that. Hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone.
Oh, John! Oh my
I
gosh!
presume you are Mr. John Garrideb. Yes, sir. Former second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Nuremberg... The 3rd Regiment of the 4th Ruchenberland Fusiliers, sir. Seen my fair share of action, not living the quiet life, as it were.
I'm tearing up. This is embarrassing. Are there tissues somewhere? I'm gonna have to take my shirt.
This is just couples the case.
Yeah. The quiet life. Will you not engage in incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question?
Ah, well, yes, quite.
Also, am I... Go ahead.
I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Are you what?
If I face this direction, am I facing the game? I'm doing that purposefully. I can start looking at the other way.
It's up to you which way you want to look.
I'm saying, which direction faces the game?
Oh, you're facing the game right now, yeah.
Okay, then yeah. Because I think it'd be weird for me to not face the game. I don't know.
Yeah. Though I kind of wish that I could also face the game now because I'd be facing you. But there is no feasible way with this chair that I can have the camera in that angle.
Can you invert your camera so like you're actually mirrored?
I'll still be facing forward. I can't face to the side with this.
Oh, I see what you mean.
My entire setup like would not work with I'd need additional tables.
Yeah. We can continue. I'm sorry for the tangent.
Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. No shady. He will not face away. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once! Yes, on the day referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon headed out, though, and got the window open.
Fire? Pick up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I'd noticed if 1 or 2 went missing, I'm afraid. If that bally thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening.
Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems.
The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware of that. On every battlefield, you're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment. Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here? Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife.
In combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than that they've testified already. This may be a dead end.
And Zeeks may well be right.
Well, whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Very well, counsel. Begin your cross-examination.
I just want to say that I love that if you look over here, his name it says Garrideb, but hers it says Joan. So his they use the last name and hers they use first name. It's really weird.
I think we can already probably present something here.
Right here?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of pedantic, but like I feel like that's where this game sometimes goes, where it's like, oh, this is the reason why you were fighting.
I believe you do not at all have to say the reason why they were fighting, because I don't think it's relevant.
It's not. I just, I don't know with this game series. Sometimes it seems very irrelevant. Sometimes it's not. But we can just push a couple of things to see where it leads us.
Yeah, probably the best to push, as you say.
Push it to the limit.
The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe.
Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was stuck into the pages of a book belonging to Mr. Garrideb.
Susato, I really don't think you should share that with the entire court.
And then it's implied that...
A rather passionate note, in fact.
Oh, someone's a little bit of a hypocrite, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
But Mrs. Garrideb found the note discovering her husband's little secret.
It just keeps going.
And now they're like exaggerating. It's not even a secret.
And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too.
What a sordid state of affairs.
Hell on earth. If Bonzi thinks that's bad, it's pretty bad.
I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it all up. And besides, half of it was wide of the mark anyway.
A likely story.
His waters run very deep. I don't have a follow age command, Andy Goldbergers. What transpired next after the multiple blows to the face? Let me move something so I can see the chat better. And the fire also spread to some of the items of furniture, didn't it? Also, welcome, Andy.
Hey.
A bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine, really. Just so happens there was some bathwater around that evening, so I sloshed that about to put it out. A most precarious situation you've been put yourselves in. I figured you, yeah. You've been following for a while. I can actually tell you how your follow age. I can see that. You've been following since September 28th, 2018, so yeah, over 3 years.
We love to see it.
Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street where the water main isn't connected yet. I have to draw water from a public water pump to use during the day if you need any, you see.
I was moaning that you can't get any water at night. Although, the little mustache Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe.
Yeah, that is a while, Andy. I thank you for that. You've been following me longer than I've been an affiliate.
You're probably following us, well, Shad, when we were doing the original Phoenix Wright streams.
I feel like that was more than 3 years ago.
I think we finished around 2018.
Did we? Defending Mr. Natsume, you mean?
He receives a stipend for his studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew butter tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off.
Have you actually seen the state of the man?
I believe he uses all his income to buy books.
Well, anyway, the point is, I was able to douse the fire with water, fortunately enough.
Did they not have libraries in ancient England?
I don't know if they... What time... I think they probably did. Libraries, though, until the, I think, mid-1900s, maybe late 1800s.
I forgot that this is a very relevant question for
yeah,
you.
they used to...
You know so much about libraries.
Because I am a librarian. Libraries
so
used to not be open to the public. They were only open to like the elite. The upper class. Librarians used to see themselves as gatekeepers, and they chose who they would allow into their libraries, who got to have the knowledge. And
so probably they wouldn't let him in even if there was a library.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I feel like they probably had libraries at that point in time, but yeah, they probably not everybody was allowed to use them.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for your knowledge on that. That was literally, I completely forgot that was a relevant question.
I mean, I thought you were asking because you seriously like, oh yeah, he'll know the answer to this.
I literally forgot, but that's fun. I'm happy that I know something now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember exact dates for when a lot of that, but I did obviously have to take some library history classes.
I literally was just gonna type into my phone when were libraries invented, and I was not gonna get an accurate result at all.
I mean, libraries in the broadest sense, I believe, probably dated back to like BC. I think like ancient Greeks had stuff like that.
Yeah, the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah, like libraries as a concept are there's a difference between modern libraries and like libraries from thousands of years ago.
Oh man, that was fun. I got a little serotonin from that.
You didn't expect when you pressed right there that I would have that interaction ready. Even though the room was on fire.
As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of the societal takedown, Mr. Naruhodo.
How did she know I was thinking that? So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day?
In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see, some bread, cabbage, garlic, a towel, and a sponge, a napkin. Oh.
Excuse me? Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Garrideb. Don't shoot. Sorry, beg your pardon. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction. It was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker, I seem to recall.
Oh yeah, she did just say
Ouch.
only soft things.
Pretty much. And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed a direct hit with that ball. Yeah! Good grief, woman. We're not at home now. This is a court of law.
Oh, dear me. Ever so sorry, dear.
He's just gonna keep smoking out of that pipe, isn't he?
What's she even doing with a teapot in here?
Honestly, John, I would have never have thrown such things at you. Obviously.
Wait, she poured it in the pipe, didn't she?
Yeah, he's gonna keep smoking it.
I mean, it's all going in the same place.
That's exactly how pipes work.
Take a look at this, then. How do you suppose that happened, Your pipe, sir. I had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. Like see a sponge do that sort of damage.
Glug, glug, glug.
I see, a pipe was broken. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now.
Oh, you are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear?
I wonder what I should make of this account.
It could be important.
That's a very non-committal thing to say, that too. The defense
Yeah,
believes
especially in these kind of games.
Mr. Garrideb's remarks just now to be of great significance, which is absolutely...
That's not what I said! I said it could be!
This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony.
Indeed. Common sense, one might say. Might one?
In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipes, sir?
Well, I don't see why not.
Oh, dear me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with the young lady.
Very well, the court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence.
I hope it doesn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, I guess let's examine.
Oh. Turn the pipe around.
It looks to be in a sorry state with that bandage around it, doesn't it? but for some reason it feels slightly ominous to me, like it's trying to shout out a warning. Probably because it's the same blue as Mr. Garrideb's dressing gown.
I suppose it must have considerable sentimental value to Mr. Garrideb, given that he's gone to the trouble of repairing it like this.
Either that or he can't afford to replace it.
That's what I was gonna say. It's just why I can't buy another one. There's a chip on the pipe.
There's a small nick out of the bowl here, look. It appears to have been made relatively recently.
And see how there are little scrapes and dents all over. It's clearly a well-loved pipe.
Yes, you're right. Seems to me recently that being well loved goes hand in hand with getting some battle scars. This particular nick is catching my eye though, because it's clearly new.
Whoa, whoa! That's been in the pipe the entire time?
Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe there.
The entire time!
For several days now.
Filled with tobacco, tea,
All the
more
things you
tea?
normally put in pipes.
Oh, go ahead.
This is you.
Oh, that's me.
Yes, I saw it.
I did not see it.
Something's stuck in there, I think.
Let's turn it over to give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a
looks like
blade or
Tip
something.
of a,
Oh, this here.
that's fine. You can say it.
No, you say it
You already
now.
said it.
We both get to say it.
Just-
It looks like a tip of a blade or something.
Shady said, yikes, man's been close to death more so than usual. The tip of a blade. Surely it couldn't be.
Here's your pipe back, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary.
This is the tiny piece of metal we found in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
It looks like the tip of a blade or something.
Isn't that what she
The
said?
tip of a blade.
It's something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo.
I don't really know. There's just something niggling me, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. Niggling should come back. That should be a word people use.
Perhaps in that case, it'd be wise to examine some of the other pieces of evidence again.
I guess I think that's the only. I think all of this is just the same thing.
It's all the tip.
Just
check
the tip.
Blade.
The blade.
Do
We
have to
checked
check
the blade.
The blade again?
If you,
The switch check, yeah.
if you want.
Is that relevant? We gotta like pop it out and check the tip. Is it gonna not
Pop
add
it.
more information? Tip it.
Shank it.
Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo, just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
Wait, part of it's missing. I could be wrong, but I've just got a feeling. You remember this?
Ah, that's the tiny fragment of metal that we found just inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
Yes, and just maybe.
Oh my, it's a perfect fit.
Shady said that's what she said, which could have been honestly been to half of these statements.
Yeah, half of these statements.
Somehow I just knew it. Okay,
Awesome. So we didn't have to do that.
I never did it. I didn't know though that there would be new dialogue. So
Fair.
I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that the request was turned down.
oh no, it's fine. Thanks to Sada-san, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully. Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Garrideb. Now if we could return to the crux of the matter. What can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim?
No. I mean, I guess we can.
Oh,
Just for the
too
sake
late.
of it, but,
Sorry.
I already know what to do.
Sorry, would you care to elaborate? Nothing to say, really. Well, they're partial to spot carving, you see. Pipes and whatnot. Fishing tackle. You know, the sort of thing.
It's a passion we both share. I like to carve little wooden trinkets too. And then there's my leather work.
Sorry to say, we're always losing knives around the place. We have dozens of the things.
They sell them at the market sometimes, 20 for the price of 19. Needless to say, I'd snap them up. John prefers to use two knives at mealtime too, instead of a knife and fork.
No, Joan, we don't want people to think I'm some kind of savage dog.
Here we go again with the scaldings. Why are they being so evasive?
Also, the water shouldn't even be that hot, statistically.
It's
Unless
forever
she has,
hot.
She has a kettle, like,
It's
in
a
her bonnet.
It's a self-heating kettle.
Guess so.
I imagine it's because they don't want to believe it. They can't bear the thought that it might have been one of their knives that injured the victim.
Which is entirely understandable, of course, but still.
Go on with your testimony, witnesses.
Sir.
So you just want to present something?
Yeah, we just present something there, right?
Here.
Yeah. The tip.
Where's the tip?
Mr. Garrideb, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please?
You can ask, but I can't see a bally thing.
You can't?
You used to call me Dead-Eyed Deb back in the regiment, of course. That was some time ago now. Even I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I'll struggle to tell a B from the D and a P from a Q, to be honest.
It's rather wearing being asked about every other letter and every other word.
The start of that cut out, but good enough.
Oh, here.
You must be very dizzy.
Haha, haha. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal?
Tiny metal. Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade.
You know who else has a tiny metal?
And what may appear at first be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence.
Interesting. Oh no, I muscle man that statement. And where did the defense come by this evidence? Just Von Zeke's actually muscle man.
It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
I don't even want to imagine Von Zeeks just being like, my mom.
I'm gonna read the next line like muscle man. Just be ready.
My pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting that it is in some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road?
Clap.
I am.
Oh, that's not even fair. What? I'm not saying what, but like muscle man. That's not enough words.
When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of the case, my lord.
Yeah,
What?
he should have worn pants.
You
The
appear...
back of his jacket. He got burnt too.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Did you not see it?
No, I was too
Did you really
focused
not
on the
notice?
crate that she's standing at.
Oh, that's also funny too. I didn't notice that.
You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well then, present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence compared to this fragment of metal allegedly reveals the truth of this entire case?
Could you have done it the other way around? Could you show the knife and then the blade?
Not
The
that
tip?
I know of, but maybe.
'Cause
I don't think so,
It'd
though.
be like, yeah, it wouldn't make sense. Yeah, the knife.
The
Show
knife?
the knife. Yeah, that's
Oh.
that's the
Not that bad.
that's the other one.
That is the knife we found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will find that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing.
Ah, there we go. A common issue with the inferior blades sold on the unsavory street markets.
That also sounds just like something he'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, Muscle Man is definitely studies the blade. He definitely has a katana collection. Sorry. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones.
And what of this particular knife?
No doubt the tip has suffered a familiar fate or similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim.
I mean, that'd be bad.
Rionosuke just goes, tip, blade.
Objection!
I've
I'm in the camera.
I've got a tip. I've got a blade. Tip blade. I don't know.
No,
The joke was
that's
funny
not
in
the
my
case. This tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
Good grief, Lord Von Zeeks.
Yeah, that was extreme for him.
I don't believe it!
Why is he so aghast? I've never seen him so flustered.
The knife from the scene of the crime and this fragment of metal!
Because he may have just been proved that he was wrong. Like
Me? Wrong?
well, I mean, the last case, the way it ended, he never actually got proven that he was wrong.
Fair enough.
A perfect match!
Gosh.
Look at his pants. Look at his
I
pants.
see it.
Order. Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery?
This is... This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle.
A miracle.
Van Zeeks has figured it out, has he?
Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once.
Yes, my lord, the crucial point we have to ask ourselves here, according to Shady Gamer 31, is did the half moon give me a full moon? Oh, he said did I see butt before that. Is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe?
Oh my... No, he's right. Get it?
What?
Get it? Because when you show your butt to people,
Yeah,
it's called
I know.
mooning them.
I got it.
I didn't get it. That's actually really good, Shady. That's actually really good.
I wonder if that was
Did that on
intentional.
purpose? That might have been intentional.
No,
'cause
'cause-
it'd be in Japanese.
Yeah, it'd be Japanese, I'm pretty sure that's an English phrase.
Yeah. Just serendipitous, I guess.
Shady's bowing.
Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony.
This thing in my hand is usual at the time of this onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh, dearie me.
During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garrideb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garrideb, instead of striking the pipe in his hand at the time.
Which caused the tip to break off, of course.
Good lord.
Yes, and that's when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1.
And yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out the open window. In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garrideb's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back of the street below.
Oh dear.
We heard everything except for all of the O's.
Gosh, oh dear. Oh.
Okay, we heard 2 out of 3 at a time.
No. Hello, Chalice. A full-bodied theory, I'll give you that. Complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points plausibly arranged to create a almost palatable vintage.
Passable.
Oh, passable.
Allow me to toast my learned friend characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument.
Sorry?
But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. 'Cause you see... it's spoiled by an insurmountable inconsistency.
An insurmountable... What?
This is like Kingdom Hearts music.
Lord Von Zix, explain yourself.
Like when you're fighting Heartless, right?
Yeah, sure.
No, I think it's when you're fighting nobodies with Roxas. I think that's what it is.
What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified?
It's an inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. A victim was found with a knife planted in the middle of her back.
Oh my gosh! This
Yes,
is like
and,
we're at the point of the case.
Ah,
That's right, you silly little man.
Like we're at the point of the case. If I could just speak to the characters, we'd be done.
No, Joan, old thing. What are you getting so excited about?
Like she bent down to pick up the book, and then the knife stabbed her. That's how it works. That's not an inconsistency.
Let's consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above, there is no possible way it could have planted itself onto the victim's back.
how do you know? Do you know she's not Quasimodo?
Oh no! He's
Yeah.
a little dumpling.
We don't know how hunched she is.
Yeah, she might.
She might have just
walk
really
like a
bad
banana.
posture.
She's actually 7 foot tall.
Order, order.
Right, you see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen over from above,
Wow, that was fast.
it would have struck her on top of the head.
Well,
She's getting real
He's
exasperated.
lost for words. Look.
I knew it. I never liked her theory in the first place.
I don't know, though. What really did happen? It would appear the defense has made a rather spectacular blunder.
Oh my gosh.
If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand.
Like the olive green. She couldn't stand either because she got stabbed while she was bent down.
well, that's
Your theory,
dark.
my learned friend, is history.
It was
This
so
game.
close. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. But now the way has been blocked completely. But just one simple inconsistency.
Oh, I think this is Kazuma. Watch out, bet. It's Kazuma. Is it Kazuma?
I thought I heard female text, but I'm not sure. I didn't catch it. It might be Kazuma.
I'm gonna say it's Kazuma or
How would it
if
be
it's not-
Kazuma though?
It's like he's speaking to him from the blade.
Or in other words, We simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency, and the theory will stand.
Miss Susato.
Ha! You thought that was going to be Kazuma for a second, didn't you? You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You're just caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court records, I'm sure. All the information you need is there.
It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tactic acceptance of your theory is fatally flawed.
Wow. Wow. Bonzeeks.
I do want to say that Mrs. Garrideb's like half the height of her husband.
She's so dumpy. This also is a case of couples and a case of
Inconsistency is something
balloons.
wrong. It means I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. Test.
Wake up.
What is it?
I
Inconsistency
go
doesn't
out,
mean I was
I
on the wrong
reach
track.
out for
Okay.
Truth and my life seeing things.
Yes. If the
Reaching
knife-
out for the truth. Go ahead. Sorry.
If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way it could have hit her in the middle of her back. There. What? Reach out for the truth. What?
Reaching out for the truth must be like a very common Japanese saying because like there's so many like games that say that kind of stuff.
Did they say reach out for the truth here?
Yeah, I thought it did.
They said dig deeper for the truth.
No, somebody said it. It doesn't matter. It
I don't
doesn't
see
matter.
anybody saying reaching out for the truth.
I could have. Maybe I'm just like hallucinating. I'm disassociating, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, it's literally just dig for the truth. Sorry.
Yeah, dig deeper for the truth. The opposite of reaching out.
Yeah, gotta go down.
Under normal circumstances, that is.
What are you implying?
Counsel? There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer.
Good.
Utter madness. Utter Sparta. Surely, this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak.
This is the last inconsistency. The final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is...
So, can you confirm to me that there are multiple right answers?
I don't know about multiple right answers. I only
I
know
thought you
about
had
one.
the guide in front of you.
I do, but it doesn't always say if there's multiple.
Oh, if there's multiple.
It only says
'Cause-
one, and it's the one that I did.
Because you know already what I'm trying to get at. She bent down to pick up the book.
Yes.
There's a couple of items that can say that. The book itself, the picture of her holding the book, is what I would probably gravitate towards most. And there might be something written somewhere that can further say that. But like, if I had to say, I would say it's the picture of her holding the book.
This?
Yeah, because it specifically shows the victim's hand and that the book is in her hand. That's what I would think.
This, the fourth book found at the scene. Okay, there is multiple. Because that
So
is
you
not...
did the book.
Yeah.
Fair.
This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present.
This didn't even show the picture. They were like, you meant the book.
The book.
Is that not Mr. Garrideb's book?
Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. Give us a moment.
But as we all know, now know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that.
Wait, so it's part of his wholesale transplanting the crime scene to the opposite side of the road.
That's true, however, as part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand?
Well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand.
I thought that was the last we would have seen of the Beats. I almost missed them.
Almost. In other words, the victim had already picked the book up of her own volition. I don't know, I love the Beats.
I do. That's what I'm saying. I missed them.
He said almost. And clearly, that must have been before she suffered the knife wound.
Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing much of anything.
I think the pun is enough to make me not miss them too much.
So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand?
By Jingo.
By Jingo!
I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now.
Jingo are my favorite collectible from the Nintendo 64 collectible platformers.
From Bungie Kablooey?
Bungie Kablooey and its sequel, Bungie Toots.
Jingo!
Jingo!
No, you gotta do one note off like I did.
Oh, dearie me!
We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Garrideb household onto the pavement below. At precisely the moment that the victim was walking past.
Yes, at exactly that moment, the young woman was walking along the street in the late fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her. John?
The book I threw! I read it, it's didn't catch it.
Ah, yes, Mrs. Garrideb. And what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement?
Well, I can't really get to imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down. Look at her! Ah! She's so cute! And picked up the book. And picked the book up.
Yes, that's exactly what the woman did, in fact. She picked up the book.
It's a little olive. Oh heavens!
And when the woman reached down to pick up the fallen book up, a toothpick landed in her back. Because she's an olive. What position would her back have been in?
Oh my gosh!
That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, where the woman was still bent over picking up the book.
Please show it.
You want to see the stabbing?
I thought it would have been funny, just seeing the knife, because I don't think they would have shown the stabbing taking place, just the knife coming down.
Next
I would have
object.
laughed. Go ahead.
The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at that time, walking by chance directly behind Mr. Green, was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume.
Well, I never.
It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above. Oh.
And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker.
So there never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place.
No, there's nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. That's my favorite book series, a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident.
The seventh one is my favorite. That's all I'm saying.
And that's the real truth behind this case. Also, the seventh one is my favorite. Sounds like a clickbait now.
Oh, no. There's a board game where you make clickbait headlines. I saw it. Maybe I should get it for you.
The one that's in, like, Facebook ads?
I don't know. I saw it at the store.
Is it like a card game?
It had the box is a triangle, like a mouse.
Okay.
I don't know. If it's still at the store next time we go, I'll get it.
Don't need to spend money on that. Don't spend money on clickbait.
You'll be surprised what he did next.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb.
The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that.
Well there, old bean.
She is a bean.
Poor Mrs. Garrideb. I never meant anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book. And I threw the knife as well. John, dear.
It's alright, I know.
I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry.
And this time he caught her. Kinda. Remember last time he fell over and she caught him.
Aww. They do love each other in a very toxic way. It's okay, I guess.
I think they're just toxic people. I don't think it's their relationship.
Yeah.
Lord Valjex, what news of Mrs. Garrideb?
She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events have left her in an especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There's no cause for concern.
Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could easily have been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions.
There is some good news, however, my lord. I've just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she'll regain consciousness soon.
It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her.
How wonderful. The woman is out of danger, it seems.
Yes, that is good news.
So theoretically, Olive Green could then choose if she wants to press charges or not, right? Like, so the Garridebs could not be in trouble?
I guess?
So, Mr. Suzaki Natsume.
Why are you still skittish, my dude? You're done.
Yes. On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir.
Canonically IRL, he's skittish, so...
Fair.
You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture, and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. No, it is me who should be begging your pardon.
Oh no, Mr. Natsume.
That evening,
when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes. I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion.
What conclusion, sir?
I was sure that the woman was dead.
Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too.
I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me. Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him.
Yeah, poor man.
So, when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police. Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry.
Commit seppuku right now. It's like, no, Soseki, not that big of a deal.
Well, critics indeed say this sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps.
That's my other...
favorite book
Oh,
series. Oh no! Oh,
fine, you can have that one.
a chain of unfortunate mishaps.
The thing is, that sounds like that legitimately could be a knockoff version.
Yeah. I'm going to start writing a book series called A Chain of Unfortunate Mishaps.
What's the uncle's name in it?
Stan.
Okay, sure.
We were befooled by this spirit and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Von Zeeks and our young lawyer here from the east, that chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you both.
Oh.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
My lord.
In concluding this trial, I must ask you one last time for your decisions regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court?
As the foreman of this jury, I can assure you of reach a fair and just conclusion.
I do declare that the truth can be extremely cruel at times.
Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure.
Sitting in for the old bean while she's out of action, you know. But I know what her decision would be. This means I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work. Well, it's about time.
Well, see, I have a clock on a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home. What?
Oh my god, it'd be so funny if he just stays not like guilty. He's just like, I did it.
I didn't hear. I couldn't hear what they were saying.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Please grant me this boon.
Well, then the court never ends. They have to be unanimous.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Then.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Oh.
Not guilty.
Oh.
I like my voice more than his.
I do like your voice better.
I mainly say that because it's killing me and I want to have some solace in that pain.
I like your voice for both Garrideb and the old man.
Thank you.
Very well, Mr. Sasaki Natsume, I hereby pronounce you not guilty.
Guilty, psych! You're going to jail for life, haha!
Ha! You get the capital punishment, twice. We'll bring you back.
That'd be so funny.
And finally, Mr. Natsume,
Oh, yes, Lord Sir.
you are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you'll continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me.
Oh, yes, sir, of course. On my life, I swear I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears.
Watch him be in the next game.
Thank you, Counsel. Square is adjourned.